my name's Tash. I'm from Heart and Design. Thanks so much for coming along to this video. Today you're going to learn how to draw step by step, and the subject is this lovely little cute flower fairy. So I will take you through every step. This is one of many step-by-step tutorials on my channel. Please do subscribe to see more and click the notification bell so that you hear about any of my new releases. Also, the step-by-step tutorials come as sheets like this one, which you can have downloadable printables from my Patreon, and also a book. If you wanted to buy this one, this is fairies. There will be a different subject every month. The first month was summer, and this month is fairies. Next month we're going to have Christmas, and December will be winter. Now, I do also have lots of videos, not just on drawing, but also how to paint these lovely pictures in acrylics, watercolours, pencils, pastels. So please do check out Patreon. Patreon has the full set of videos because you do pay that slight small monthly fee, and YouTube has some. So you'll see some on YouTube. Yeah, so that's everything about me, and let's get started. Don't want to waste your time. So here we have got a full picture of what we're going to create by the end of the session. But here I have enlarged up the sheets so that each step is drawn so you can see as I go along. Now, where I would start on this one is on this flower here, because the end of this flower is almost, sorry you can't see that, let me move that, is almost at the end of the picture. So I know that that's the furthest point I need on that side of the paper. So I'm going to draw still quite low because there is a bit of there's a bit more drawing above, but it has to be quite far up because of the stalks. So here is where I'm saying the stalk bottom will be, and then I'm going to, from there, work all my petals out. I'm going to leave a little gap there where the leaves are coming out, and then I'm going to draw the curve, because that is where the other petals will come from. That will help guide me. So I'm going to draw a medium-sized petal here, which is that one. Then I'm going to come from a bit further underneath and draw one a bit bigger. So do this. I'm trying to do it so you can see, but also I want to try and get it right. Is draw it out like that. It's quite large, that one. So just use little sketchy shapes. Don't try and do it all in one line because it is bigger and you want to get it in the right place. Then this is the point where the one underneath is coming out, and it's a bit smaller than that one above, but it's a bit bigger than the first one. Okay, so there's another one drawn. Then from there, from this center point where this one came from, we're going to have to draw this petal, which is almost vertical up, not quite, and it's coming up here. And again, it's not a huge petal. Now, I have drawn it as though it's coming down, but we won't see that in a minute because this petal is much bigger and comes up, above and down again, a bit like this one. It's a bit bigger. I'm just going to come around a bit. I know you can't see, I just need to tidy it up. Okay, so that's that part done. Now, this part I feel needs to just come up a little bit more. Sometimes when you sit back and have a look at it, you think, oh, that doesn't look right, that bit. Okay, now I'm going to come out and draw this bit here. Now remember, if it's not looking perfectly like the one on the sheet, it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. It is a flower. You don't have to draw it exactly the same. All flowers are different. So try not to be too much of a perfectionist with that. Now from the center here, we've got 2 petals on each side. So I'm coming to the center, and this is how I sketch. I kind of think, how big are these against each other? Where am I placing everything in comparison to everything else? And that's really all you need to be thinking about. There's that one there. Now we've got a bigger petal here hiding behind, and then we're coming up here. Right, this one, hope you can still see, is coming up around there, and then we've got this one as well, which we can kind of see all of as well. Okay, so we've got them in. Mine doesn't look exactly the same either. I mean, look, there's a gap between this one and this one, and it shouldn't really be there. So let's try and correct that a little bit, because you can always go in and correct. It's fine. Just means I've misdrawn something, or not drawn it quite right. But remember what I said, you can't really be wrong. It's a flower. The petals could be anywhere you want them to be, really. Okay, so I've drawn in the first one. Now I'm going to go down to the second one. So I'm just move it out of the way a bit, but enough for you to still see. Now I'm going to start with the petal actually that is here, because then I've got it in placement next to that other petal one and I can see where it should be. It's all about just looking what you've already drawn and getting that placement right. Now we're going to come down and do the other one at a slightly other angle, slightly coming that way a little bit. Okay, and then we're just going to come in and draw these here underneath the other two, and it really doesn't matter how you draw those because they're underneath. Now we're going to go around and draw the other petals. Now there are 3 on each side of the center, so in comes my center, and I know from here I've got to get 3 in. So I'm kind of in my head thinking, right, I've got to split it into thirds. So I've got one little bit there, then I come in and do another one here, and they're all kind of the same size. They're all coming to the same height, and then I've got another one peeking behind. All right, the same with the other side. I'm going to kind of split it into 3, that little space, and then this one is kind of just curling round a little bit, and then we've got this one here which is kind of just curling round, and then we've got another one here. There. So that's that one done. Right. So now I'm just drawing in the lines, which are basically just talking about the fact that, hey, these are 3D. They've got curves in them. They've got markings on them. So drawing those in, trying to do them as though they have a bit of curve to them. And this one has quite a few coming from the center through the petals. Okay, so that's it. We've done. Now we need to just put some dots in the middle. I forgot about those nearly. There's a lot of flowers in the center. It has pattern, doesn't it? And that's what attracts the lovely bumblebees. Right, so step 1 done. Now this I think is either a level 3 or level 4, so that's why it's got quite a bit of detail in. So we're going to do the stalks now. So I know I can come around on this one down to about here, and then this one just comes down and meets down here. Got that. I've just drawn them in lines. Put that there. I've just literally just drawn lines. I haven't bothered to sketch. And then we come up and we're drawing the leaves, which are basically just little loops. Okay, coming round. And there we go. I'm going to draw that double one on there. That's quite a cute one. And one there. And quite a big one here. Okay, it'll come out right. Right, so now we need to go into those leaves. I've drawn them quite different sizes and shapes from the sheet, and it's absolutely fine, don't worry. It doesn't have to be exactly the same as I've said before. So now I'm just drawing in the middle of the leaves, the veins, and putting some definition in just to make it look more like what it actually is. Then we're going to move on to the next step. So the next step is the body of the fairy. So again, the placement is going to be the important part. It's so difficult to try and get it all on screen. There we go. The placement of this is going to be really important. So about here is where her arm starts. So that is where I'm actually going to base everything on, about where her arm is. Okay, that's her arm done. Then what we've got is a little wriggly line, and then we come round and do a C on top of that wiggly line, and that's the ruffle of her sleeve. Then we do almost a circle at the top of her arm like that, and then I do the bottom. So the bottom starts about halfway along her body, and then towards the end of her arm, and then you do some little lines to make it look as though it's coming round. I may have drawn her in slightly the wrong position. She needed to be a bit further out, but it's fine. This will teach you how to do it if you don't get it quite right. And then her ruffle comes out. As you can see, I'm about to hit the flowers. It's all good. Okay, that's her ruffle from the top of her dress. Then we need to come up and draw her body. So we just come up here. It's a slightly above the circle, which is where her head's going to be. Draw a little space for where her neck is and a little ruffle, and then bring her back round. And then all we've got to do is where her other arm will be here. That's that step done. Okay, let's move on. So we need to finish off her dress, and we need to finish off the patterning on her body. So as you can see, I have drawn her way too close. So I'm going to draw her dress behind. It's coming around, wiggle, and then draw the under part of her dress. And then we're going to draw her legs in, which are little, quite thin little marks there. She's got crisscrosses on her feet, and then the points are coloured in. Okay, so that's most of her drawn. Then we're going to go in with the decoration on her dress, just bringing that shape and form in to show this is a dress, it is moving. And then we've got similar patterns and markings on her, I'm not sure what you'd call that, but it's on the bottom of her top. It's all ruffled, isn't it? That's what I was trying to say. And so if you draw in like these lines coming down and little loops like that, then that kind of puts that decoration in for you. And I will just come in and do a little bit more around her the bottom of her top. Okay, that's that. Now it's time for the wand. Let's draw a little wand in. So that's the bottom of the wand, easy enough. I've just coloured it in to show it up a bit more. And then from the bottom of the wand, that's the start of my star, because I know I want the bottom to be at the very top of that stick. So then I'm going to draw in the bottom two parts of my star. Then I'm going to come in with two top bits, two middle bits, and then my top bit. Okay, again, don't worry if your star isn't perfect like hers, because it was a digital stamp. All of these have been drawn digitally. They haven't been hand drawn. It's just so that you can see all the details really clearly. Next step, I think that's, yeah, next step. I think there's anything else there to do. We're going to do her little cute smiley face and her hair. So her face is basically around half of a circle, well, a bit more than half, because you are coming round to do where her hair is. Then we're going to do at the side, which is about halfway up. If you can see where her little ears are, that will help guide us now. So we're going to do her fringe, which will finish off the circle to go up to the top. So here we are, and then we just flick it round. And then we'll do the other side, coming down to the side of her face like that. And then we just flick it round as well. They're just little flicks that, and then that brings it down to the front. All right, so I do need to draw in some more lines to make it look like it is actually hair. Then we're going to come from behind, and then we're going to draw some hair down to her ear, and then it comes down her back and goes, it hides away. And then we're just going to draw some lines in there as well to show that's her hair going behind. We're going to draw the same thing here up to her ear, and then coming from her ear, the rest of her hair is kind of flying away. Oh, we didn't draw her arm in. We mustn't forget to draw her other arm in from behind. There we go. Nearly forgot to give her two arms. Yeah, and then we'll kind of come down, and we're going to draw in her hair. So that's that. Now we're going to come to the next step, and I think this is the final step. Oh, I haven't drawn in her face. Don't worry, let's do it on this level. There we are, there's one eye. So basically, I'm just drawing upside down curves like that, and then I'm just popping her eye in. Oops, I did that on the wrong side. That's fine. And then giving her little eyelashes wherever you want them. Okay, if you want her to have eyelashes. And then we're going to have, so we'll have to curl that round, otherwise she's going to look angry. Little nose, little cheeks, and a big smile. There we are. Now she doesn't look quite so angry. So it's time for her wings again, which are very similar to Moon Fairy. That's another tutorial. So we're going to come up with her wing here, which comes up behind her head and down to her arm. That's the first one. The next one is coming from the same space here. Hopefully, if I put that, maybe if I put that sideways, you can try to get it in. So you can see, then we've got the other one coming up from behind here. So it's like that. And then there's little ones behind here, just to give her the 4 wings that she should have. So I'm now going to just, I can't fit it all in, so I'm just going to draw those petals now, like not petals, like leaf veins onto her wings. And we are nearly there. Just going to give some lines around the edges as well, because they give it some bounce, they give it some movement. As I say, everything we draw is trying to tell a story about the picture and what's happening. Now we've got little bumblebees, and you basically can create these wherever you want. So the first one I'm going to draw is up here. It's just a little oval. Okay, put a little black point on the end, put some stripes in. Make sure they're curved, because then it will look 3D. Don't do straight stripes. And a little eye, and then we're going to go up and do the wings. Okay, so you just need to do a few of those. I'm going to do that. Put a little eye in there, some wings. Don't forget their wings. There was one over here underneath the petal. I kind of like that idea, so we'll go for that. Hidden away, can't see the rest of it, but we'll be able to see its trail in a minute. I'm going to do another one here, but it's kind of in the foreground, so I'll make it a bit bigger. Oh, put that the wrong way then. There we go. Okay, so now all we have to do is the little trails coming from the bumblebees, and it's basically just drawing lines in a pattern wherever you want them, basically. Wherever you want to have said, that's where the bumblebee has been. Your choice. There we go. And there's the last one. I mean, you can take a bit more time than me. All right, so that's finished. That's the end of that step for that one. So all done. I hope you enjoyed that. Please do like and subscribe, comment, all those things. Click the notification bell so that you hear whenever I get in any new uploads of videos. Please remember, if you pop to my Patreon link below, you can join and get all the downloadables, or you can buy the book. The link is also below. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for joining me. Bye, everybody.